Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm Harvey Freed. Alongside of me, our whole panel. We got Harry Glantz to my right.
Morning, everybody. How you guys
Harry,
doing
what's
today?
going on, man? Good to see you.
Awesome out. Beautiful today. I'm glad to be back. Was on the road last weekend doing more business and just trying to bring you business. Bring the company business. That's all I try to do, baby.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, and good to have you back here again.
Thank you.
We got Alex Nafusi across the street here. How you doing, Alex?
Hi, work family.
What's going on?
Good morning.
The voice of Royal Oak, Berkeley, and some other areas.
Oh, nice haircut.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
You're
it.
looking sharp today.
I'm like, I'm old now. I'm officially an old man.
I don't know about that. Peter Toring is joining us, our real estate agent who came in to join us here from Caldwell Banker. We're Emmanuel out on the east side. How you doing, Pete? Nice to have you here.
I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Great. I know you've listened to the show
You got
before.
a good vibe about you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Look,
Hey, he's a young gun, man. He's going to bring the young guns in. He's going to tell us the real deal on what's going on.
I usually find ways to make fun of realtors when I first meet them, but I got nothing, though.
Yeah,
Well,
He's got a
because
great
he's a
vibe.
lot bigger
If
than
you find a
I'll
way,
teach you
feel
up.
free.
Oh, that's okay.
we're definitely going to be taking your
You got
phone
a good
calls.
vibe, though, man. I like the young guys.
Always take your phone calls here. 248-539-9797. 1 hour of the Hardcore Mortgage Show. We're going to answer all your questions about mortgages and real estate. Again, when we have a real estate agent in here, run those questions by him. If you're thinking about listing your house, you're thinking about buying a house, definitely give us a phone call. We have a full staff also at Capital Mortgage Funding at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. I know Ronnie J has already called me and he says, hey, have them give me a phone call. If they need an approval letter today, we can run the file through this morning and you can go out there and make an offer with some confidence knowing exactly how much you qualify for.
No question about it. And Peter, you listen to this show a lot. You're on the show now, and I'm going to ask you a question. You hear us talk about all the areas we talk about. We talk about the West Side. We talk about Brighton, South Lyon. We talk about Heartland. We talk about the Woodward corridor, up and down Woodward from Detroit all the way through Bloomfield Hills, going through Ferndale, Royal Oak, all the way up to Pontiac, Berkeley. You hear us talk about that. You're on the east side. We love Macomb County. You hear us talk about every week Macomb County is setting new records for home purchases, and it's the most, it's the most dynamic county right now because everything is going up in Macomb County. Tell us about the area that you specialize in, and tell us what's going on the east side.
So I work in the vast majority of Macomb County. Our office is right near Salford Air Base, right Hall Road there. But we work in the shores. We work in Warren. We work in Macomb Township, Shelby Township. And the great thing about Macomb is our days on the market are just plummeting. Our prices are coming up. And it's really just a fantastic place to live and to move. And with a lot of the rehab that's been going on, there's a lot of move-in ready houses that are available. And we've got... certainly the houses in the 250 and under are going very, very quickly, but we do have a little bit of a larger inventory in the 250 to 400,000 range. So there are still quite a bit of those kind of second-time buyer homes available.
What type of issues are you seeing regarding appraisals and values coming in?
What day are you asking me?
Yeah,
it just seems
exactly.
I'm all over the board. We've got appraisals that are coming in low that I could not have imagined that would have come in low, and then I've got appraisals that are coming in. We had a house that went 10,000 over list. I thought there's no way this is appraising.
It's not just me.
It comes over value.
So, Peter, here we are. We're on June 17th, and we're selling houses now. Purchase agreements are coming in, and the appraisers are going out, and they're getting comps from sales that happened in April, March, February. And you know that those sales are not, they're not equal to what's going on in the purchase market right now. So here's the question. I told you I didn't want to tip you in on it, but my favorite question is when you get an appraisal that comes in low on a purchase, what's the first thing you do?
I guess if I can backtrack a second, I wanted to make sure that I prepared for that appraisal correctly. I met the appraiser there. It seems like the appraisers are being a little bit more open to me meeting them there and kind of making my case for the value of the property. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and talk to that appraiser and submit some sort of a rebuttal. That's my first argument.
He was walking you down. He was walking you up there.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if the appraisers going to want to hear because you know how they are with their appraisals. They think they're Rembrandt and they think that they're painting this and when you get that value, the bottom line is that we as a lender, we want to do it for what the property appraises for. Now, if you can come up with comps after the fact that support a higher value, we rebut that appraisal. Mm-hmm. Okay, we do that. Appraisals don't like it when you call them and tell them they're bad. They hate it when we do it.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you want, as an appraiser, why wouldn't you want the realtor to meet you there? Like, someone's going to make my job easier.
Right, and bring some information.
I don't know, why is
Have
that
you
bad?
had- What's the reaction been when you show up there? You say, "Hey, you mind if I meet you there?" Or how do you go about that?
I'm having appraisers call me and say, "Hey, can you bring can you come and meet me and bring me whatever supporting sales you have?"
That's
I
great.
like that.
But I guess
Yeah.
to answer your full question, I'm going to use it as a negotiating tool and say, "Hey, listen, we go to the seller and say, you can
There's
ask
the
whatever you
answer.
want for your house. You can ask $1 million for your house." But it doesn't mean that the bank is going to say this is worth $1 million. Now let's renegotiate. You come down a little bit, we'll come up a little bit, and let's still make
We
this
become
work.
best friends.
Gentlemen, Peter, hey, Peter just passed the test.
All right,
He
that's
just
good.
passed the test.
Passed
I
a
like
lot
that.
of tests. You got here today.
Very
248-539-9797. I like what you said about houses flying off the market. The competition for housing continues to heat up across Southeast Michigan. There's no doubt about it. Across the country, the average contract was taken in 37 days. That's down like 5 days, as you mentioned. Here in Michigan, the hot house goes in a day.
Oh, yeah.
There's multiple offers. It doesn't matter if you're in Macomb, Shelby, anywhere on your side of town or, again, on our side of town. So definitely the houses are flying off the market. Listings are down 11%. So that's only from last year, Harry, 2016. Now we're looking at 11% less inventory
Well,
out
I like
there.
what Alex has to say. Listings are down, but you know what? Quality listings are the key.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, there's a difference between a quality listing and a listing. Wouldn't you agree with that?
100%.
Yeah, and it really is a dichotomy. If you see our days in the market chart is just plummeting down, but there still are a lot of homes that are sitting on the market that people are asking too much for. Those houses are still sitting there, so there's a huge difference between a quality listing that's going in a day over asking. We've got 97.5% of list price, but a lot of houses are going over. So we have this dichotomy of a lot of these houses that are sitting on the market that aren't quality listings, and the quality listings that are going in an hour. I could put something up right now. If it's priced right, marketed right, it's going to sell today.
Well, it's funny. People say there's a lack of inventory. There's not a lack of inventory. You just have to pay for it.
Right.
There's probably a lack of good houses, but I mean, there's plenty of houses for sale. You just have to pay for it. You're paying a premium right now.
And you come to a point as a buyer's agent where you have to advise your buyer on how much over can we pay? How far are we going to push this thing? And,
Right. How much money are they working
So,
with?
Exactly.
so understand this, Peter. When you're selling a house and you get a premium price for the house you sold, then when you take that buyer and they're looking for houses, what do you think is going to happen on that end?
It's the same thing.
you
You
go.
hit it on one side, same thing on the other side.
That's right. You can't steal something on one side and sell it for a premium
Well,
on the
that's
other.
the thing,
I think those days are long gone.
You're going to sell your house and at the top of the market and buy the top of the market. You're swapping.
That's concerning the buyers too. Is saying what's going to happen to me when I buy at the top of the market? Are we going to have another bubble? Things like that. And I said no. We're where we should have been if we
There's
never
gonna
had
be
a
a
crash.
correction.
Well, but
You
but there is that conversation going on. We don't want to bum anybody out, be a buzzkill. But bottom line is that if you ask Alex Nafusi, maybe ask Harvey, he'll have a different answer. But Alex and I are in alignment on this. We think there is going to be that we are now in the 6th year of a 5-year increase in purchase prices and home sales. 2012 again, revisionist history. 2012, we came on here and said 2012 is going to be a phenomenal year. Every year thereafter, we came on in January and said the home market is going to continue to increase, and it has. Okay? So, what do we see for the future, right? Well, here we are in the middle of the year, 2017. Things are going gangbusters. People are saying, well, what's going to happen next year? Well, you can't wait till next year. If you find a house that you like right now and you can afford it, keyword afford, if you can afford it, let's do it, because those houses might not be around. You're going to wait till
What are
next year.
you
year after?
waiting till? What's next year? What is that?
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
I don't understand.
Rates to go up?
Yeah, what's going to happen next year that I'm missing?
They're going to continue to go up.
Right. Part of the equation was the fact that a lot of investors came out of the woodwork after 2007, 2009, and that era and started buying up all these homes. So what happened was, of course, rentals have gone through the roof. It just appears to be more affordable to own a house. If you're planning on staying at least a minimum of 3 or 5 years, it seems that would be a more affordable play for you. Actually, there was a survey taken by Redfin. They do a real estate, lots of different surveys. Home buyers were asked, future home buyers were asked, even if the rate was to go up to 5%, would they still purchase? And the answer
Answer
is
is
yes.
yes.
Mm-hmm. The answer is 100%
Answer
yes.
is
So
yes.
What are you
again,
talking? $70 a month?
not,
I mean,
probably not even.
Harvey,
Probably not even that.
honestly, we didn't need a survey to tell us that, because
And the survey says.
you're looking at rates in the
Did you just say that?
in the 3s and 4s for 15s and 30s right now, unprecedented lows. I mean, not the lowest of the low, but historically low, 50-year low, 1966 low. So rates go up to 5. What does that really do? It
doesn't do anything bad.
It doesn't. It's not a hindrance. Rates have to go up. The economy, you see, the economy's getting better. There's no inflation right now. Jobs are plentiful if you want to work. Not only here in the state of Michigan, but around the United States. People are not having that hard time. So if you want to work, you can work, and that's why you see spending is up. I caution people, don't go back into spending all that money on that credit card that you're doing. Okay, if you don't have the money, don't spend it.
You don't need it.
Don't roll up your credit cards because you're going to run into the same thing that my generation did, and you're running up your credit card debt. That's never good.
All righty. Hey, that music says we're up against a quick break here. It's 9:11 if you're just joining us. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. Come on back and join us. 248-539-9797.
The sub above difference is legendary. With Jersey Mike's, throwing an unforgettable party is easy. You supply the perfect guests, we'll supply the perfect subs. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Hi, Harry Glantz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, so what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. Look, if you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE. Capital Mortgage Funding is powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS ID number 2289, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi. A couple of weeks ago, my car started
Squealing?
Yeah. So I want to replace my
Brake pads.
Wow, you really know your
Stuff?
Well, I've got a lot to do. I think I'm going to need some
Coffee?
Yeah.
At Advance Auto Parts, we have the quality parts you want to get the job done. Okay, it's starting to feel really
Weird? Yeah, it's kind of my thing.
Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back on the road.
Bold, sleek styling, exceptional performance, and unmatched materials that appeal to every sense. I'm talking about the all-new Infiniti Q50. Hi, I'm Mark Sturm, General Sales Manager, Suburban Infiniti. And right now, for a limited time, employee pricing is available through Infiniti.
Right now, it's Suburban Infiniti in Novi and Troy. Lease the 2017 Infiniti Q50 2.0T all-wheel drive sedan for only $259 a month for 39 months. 10,000 miles per year with $49.99 due at signing plus tax, title, plate, and dock fee. Must qualify for Tier 1 credit approval through Infiniti Financial. Security deposit waived on approval. Must take delivery from stock. All incentives to dealer. 2 or more vehicles available at this price. At Suburban Infiniti in Novi and Troy.
Call today, arrange a test drive, and take advantage of employee pricing available through Infiniti at Suburban Infiniti of Novi and Troy.
The Suburban Collection. Offer expires June 30th.
Did you know last year we had nearly 25,000 homes for sale in Southeast Michigan, and today we have less than 15? Hi, I'm Realtor Jeff Glover. This summer promises to be a hot seller's market. If you're looking to take advantage and get the most out of your home, do it now. But don't just take it from me.
I'm Ray Dickerson.
And I'm Linda Dickerson.
Jeff helped us buy and sell homes in Brighton, and both transactions worked out better than expected.
What really set Jeff apart is his knowledge of the market, his network of contacts, and his aggressive marketing.
Jeff is focused, driven, and dedicated to his clients.
We'd recommend Jeff to anyone looking to sell a home in today's market.
Homeowners who sell their homes with Jeff get an average 98% of their asking price and sell their homes in an average of 23 days. Call Jeff Glover and Associates today at 855-JEFF-SELLS or online at housesoldname.com. Jeff Glover and Associates are the official real estate team of the Detroit Tigers and proud to support their new foundation, Glover's Hometown Heroes. Realtor Jeff Glover, a house sold name. Jeff Glover is affiliated with Keller Williams Realty.
Detroit has become a global sensation, and the world is coming to us. There are no boundaries. There are no borders. International Champions Cup soccer arrives at Comerica Park July 19th. Watch as AS Roma takes on Paris Saint-Germain for the first time ever at Comerica Park. Get your tickets now to watch this worldwide soccer event before it sells out. Buy tickets and get event details now at internationalchampionscup.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is having our biggest Craftsman sale of the year, just in time for Father's Day. Now through Monday only, find over $600 in savings on our best Craftsman products throughout the store, including hand tools, power tools, tool chests, outdoor power equipment, and more. Hurry in now for the biggest Craftsman sale of the year, only at your local Ace. Sale ends Monday. Offers valid at participating stores and include instant savings for Ace Rewards members. See store for details.
This is Charles Osgood. Tax compliance can be a real pain for businesses. That's why I'd like to tell you about Avalara's powerful tax automation technology. Avalara simplifies sales tax and other business taxes with real-time tax rate calculations and automatic return filing. Avalara's software already integrates with your accounting, e-commerce, and point-of-sale systems, so it couldn't be easier. Find out how the good people at Avalara can help you at avalara.com. That's AVALARA.com.
The next time you're in Vegas, head to the D Las Vegas. It's not on the Strip. It's in downtown Vegas. The odds are better, the party's bigger, and you'll feel right at home. Book your stay today at thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas. This hour is brought to you by Proven Winners Color Choice Flower and Shrubs.
You've got a question? We've got an opinion. 97.1 The Ticket.
Welcome back to the show, 917. If you're just joining us, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage. Give us a call, Capital, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Here's what happens. You get the best interest rate, the lowest closing cost. You get so much knowledge. You go out there, you make your offer with confidence, and that's what you need in this today's market.
Well, best customer service. You get people that stay in their own lane, do what we do it well, and we're specialists.
I like that.
Yeah, we're specialists.
Cash out.
I don't sell real estate. Peter sells real estate.
Yeah, we
let him take care of the real estate part. We just do the mortgage.
Actually, we got James Lutz actually joining us, too. I was going to throw in, hey, good morning, James. I know you're over there, too, if you're mic'd up with us. James Lutz, one of our newer agents at the office who brought in Peter Touring from the east side. So love having the new energy in here. And it sort of validates some of the things that other agents and what we've been talking about in the marketplace. It all comes together. And when we're talking what goes on in negotiations in a transaction, this is the important stuff. It's just not, hey, I want to buy a house. You really have to put a serious plan together.
Yeah, and we start that by, I bring every buyer in for like an hour-long buyer consultation where we not only go through and we educate them about the process, but we also give them a heads up on, hey, these are some issues you may see during your transaction. What happens if your inspection comes back and has some issues? What happens if your appraisal comes back and has some issues? How much, let's set you up with a loan officer. How much money do you actually need to close? The other thing, too, is I want to make sure we do the order right. So before somebody even comes to me and say, go talk to your loan officer, go talk to James, and then come talk to me and we'll sit down.
Yeah, I said to James, what would you like to talk about? He says anything because he has a ton of information to share with you. And that's what's great when you sit down with qualified mortgage people. They really do lay out the process for the families. And then you're able to go ahead and make the proper offer. And also, like you said, the proper plan. Something came up. I showed you guys all before the show started. Many of the agents out there are using a minimum addendum. In other words,
here we go.
The purchase price, they might buy it up over list price. Let's say in this case, the purchase price might end up being about $230,000.
Well, what was the listed price?
I think $215,000.
$215,000 is the list price. Somebody buys it for $15,000 more. Then what?
Then what happens is there's some conversation there that if it doesn't appraise out, and what they're doing is they're sort of planning that it might not appraise out. So instead of having a whole transaction blow up, they put together the addendum ahead of time and say, fine, we're going to accept your offer at $230,000, but you must be willing, if the appraisal comes in for less, you must make up the difference and sign this addendum that says you understand it and you're willing to do so. And most of the clients, if they've gone around and looked at homes, and Pete, you might back me up on this, they pretty much have been gaining knowledge. They've already looked at 5 or 10 houses, so they know what value there might be in this particular home. In other words, a finished walkout basement or something, or even a finished basement, it might not show up on an appraised value.
So what you're saying is they're willing to accept the higher amount and come up with the difference.
That's it.
So let's set the tone for everybody out there. What Harvey's talking about, property is listed for $215,000. It gets overbid by $15,000 and an offer accepted at $230,000. So you sign this addendum and it says, okay, you know you're overpaying by $15,000. You don't care if a value comes in at $215,000. You have to come in with $15,000 extra, no complaining, no going back on the deal,
And
no
people always say
rescinding,
that, though, man.
all that kind of thing. So you're willing to go forward, and I use this term, you're willing to proceed with the transaction because you agreed to it and you're not going to complain. In essence, that's what it's saying.
That's in essence exactly what it's saying.
And you cannot get out of it.
Well, you can always
Everyone
get out of it.
complains.
You can always find a way to get out of a transaction. You can also forfeit your EMD and move forward. But when a family's gone this far, Pete, and they've already made several offers and they've already got outbid, they're on their 10th offer now. They're pretty much now saying, look, we're willing to pay a little bit more to get the house we want.
Well, it's quality of life, too.
That's certainly part of it. I think the first thing it shows is that market market price and appraisal price right now is very, very different. The other thing, I guess, before I even hit that, I would have made my offer look stronger in other ways before I go into an appraisal guarantee like that. You know, I'm gonna go through it. Maybe I'll reduce that inspection contingency. I don't want to eliminate it, but maybe instead of 7 days, I'll give them a couple days. We'll get that inspector there the next day. Maybe we'll give them free occupancy. We'll let them stay in another month for free or something else before I have to start touching appraisal contingencies. That's would be my first thing.
Yeah, the days of occupancy have been great for so many families because what we're finding out is if they sell their house, if any family sells their house, they might not have another house ready to go.
Sometimes they don't want to move right away. Sometimes they want 60 days.
They might not even be able to find a house for 60 days.
Well, that's the issue too, man.
Right. So, Peter, they think they want immediate occupancy. Well, what if the seller's not ready to move?
Well, we're almost seeing the reverse. You used to see contingent on selling the buyer's home, and now we're seeing the reverse of that. It's contingent on the seller finding a new home that's suitable.
You sell at the top of the market, you're going to buy at the top of the market, and there's really not that much quality inventory out there unless you really want to pay for it.
Right.
All right, let me throw the number out there, 248-539-9797. We have open phone lines. Love to hear from you. Again, if you're out there thinking about even refinancing your mortgage, definitely give us a phone call here. We can point you in the right direction. Again, so many families have taken advantage of moving their term down. Again, did you obtain a house in the last 3 or 4 years? Maybe you're 3 or 4 years into a 30-year mortgage. Take a look at that 20-year fix. I love the 15-year fixed loan. I had a conversation with a gentleman this week. He was shocked. Yeah, it costs more money typically if you're going from a 30-year.
So Harvey fires off an email to me, right?
Oh, of course he does.
He's got a client. He said his client doesn't understand why his payment's going up. He's on a 30-year. He wants to switch to a 15. He doesn't understand why the payment's going up. Just because the rate's going down, you're cutting down the term of the loan by as much as 180 months. So the payment has to go up.
Yeah, I did a calculation for this gentleman, and yeah, it was going to cost, I'm going to round some figures up. It was going to cost him over $350 more a month. It was going to cost him more money over the next 15 years. But when we took away the 11 years of savings where he would not have a mortgage, he'd have this house paid off 11 years earlier, the savings on this loan were going to be over $75,000. So very significant. That was actually over 1/3 of the loan amount.
And Harvey, that works only because he's going to stay in the house for a long time.
Right.
So you have to take that variable into effect. If you're going to stay in the house, go to a 15 or 20 year. So I said to Harvey, ask him about a 20 year. Maybe a 15 is a little bit too much right now. Go to a 20. He's still saving tens of thousands of dollars. Well, that's why we've said that for 25 years. We've said, hey, listen, go to a shorter term. I hear other companies saying, well, we invented the 15-year, going to 15-year. No, you didn't. Stop. Stop with that. Please, stop with that.
Go to an ARM. Go to a 30-year. Go to a 15-year.
Whatever is that day.
Whatever product we're going to push today. Yeah, do this. That's sweet, dude.
All right, as you guys know,
Nice
mortgage
marketing.
rates still holding at all-time lows. It's unbelievable. Weaker than expected construction data came out last week, and it showed that, and again, it's across the country. I don't see it here because if you're a builder here and you have any spec homes that are ready to go, please call us at Capital Mortgage Funding. We have buyers all ready to go, all approved, and they would love to take a look. But the problem is the inventory, a little bit of a lack of inventory out there.
But
again,
if you're talking about a 5.5% decrease over the entire United States, okay, come on.
It's not a big deal. That's what he's saying.
Still, that's what I'm saying. I mean, come on, really? I mean, we could sit here and parse out, and, Peter already passed test number 2. He used a big word like dichotomy earlier in the segment. That was great. I like that. So we could sit here and parse out every little detail of every little statistic, but here's the bottom line. There's still a plethora of buying going on. How'd I do, Peter?
Lots of them, yeah.
I like that.
Plethora, dichotomy.
Yeah, appreciate that.
I'm just a Michigan State
There's
guy.
still
Trying to follow.
There's still everything that's going on positive right now, and what we're seeing that, and it's obvious with the number of buyers trying to find a number of homes and the lack of quality inventory on the market, supply and demand.
All right.
Econ 101.
Again, we want to take your calls at 248-539-9797. June is National Home Buying Month. Time to celebrate and the American dream. Of course, home ownership provides a lot of things, including builder-strong communities, which is really cool. And again, it's a total lifestyle change. Just nowadays, it's just more affordable to become a homeowner. Take a look, call Capital Mortgage Funding, find out how much you qualify for. Let's move off to Hamilton, giving us a call here to start things off in Redford. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Thanks. Okay, so I'm about to get married, and my fiance bought a house back in 2011. The current value the current amount of the loan is about $37,000. What we're looking for was to give, put some additional money on the principal.
Okay.
And possibly lower the term from a 30 to a 15. Is it financially responsible to do that, or should I just?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. It's definitely responsible to do that. I would just start making additional principal payments. I mean, it's not really a refinance because it's such a small loan amount. The way a mortgage is mathematically calculated, you're not going to recover your closing costs.
Yeah, you're paying all the interest up front now. So
Correct.
if you add another $100 a month or $150 a month to that, you'll pay it down, and it'll be like paying it off on a 15-year fixed.
Okay, but I'm looking at making a substantial amount. So currently it's 37. If I put 15 on it,
that's great.
Which actually, averages out to about additional 33 payments.
Right. Okay.
Will my monthly payments still go up with the additional money that I add into it, or could I pretty much keep it the same or lower it?
No, it's going to go down.
Yeah, it's going to go. First of all, if you don't refinance, it's going to stay the same as you have it right now. But I would tell you that if you're looking to do that, how many more years do you have left on that mortgage right now?
Oh, it matures in 2041.
Okay, and what's the value of the property?
The value of the property,
yes,
probably about 120.
Okay, and you're looking to do that instead of, what if you took that 15 and you invested it and made a higher return?
I was thinking the same thing, man. I don't know if I would throw $15,000 at that mortgage.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that right now. I just want to know what's your current rate that you're paying?
5.3.
Okay, so the question becomes is, if you took $15,000 and invested in it, could you get a better return than 5.3? Because what you're doing is you're taking 15, you're putting it down on a 5.3% mortgage and investing in that vehicle instead. But you got to do what's best for you.
Yeah, Hamilton, we'll call you after the show because we got several more questions to ask you, including are you set up for retirement, and could you do more with this money? Plus, it's nice to have that money for a rainy day.
I like where he's thinking, though.
Yeah. Hey,
I think that's a good call.
But I'll the show, buddy. Call. Thank you, sir.
Hamilton, good stuff, man. When we come back, we can go to all these calls. 248-539-9797. We'll be right back.
Bold, sleek styling, exceptional performance, and unmatched materials that appeal to every sense. I'm talking about the all-new Infiniti Q50. Hi, I'm Mark Sturm, General Sales Manager, Suburban Infiniti. And right now, for a limited time, employee pricing is available through Infiniti.
Right now, it's Suburban Infiniti in Novi and Troy. Lease the 2017 Infiniti Q50 2.0T all-wheel drive sedan for only $259 a month for 39 months. 10,000 miles per year with $49.99 due at signing plus tax, title, plate, and dock fee. Must qualify for Tier 1 credit approval through Infiniti Financial. Security deposit waived on approval. Must take delivery from stock. All incentives to dealer. 2 or more vehicles available at this price. At Suburban Infiniti in Novi and Troy.
Call today, arrange a test drive, and take advantage of employee pricing available through Infiniti at Suburban Infiniti of Novi and Troy.
The Suburban Collection.
Hurry, offer expires June 30th.
At the Home Depot, we've got more great ways to do windows than anyone. Choose from a huge selection, in-store and online. Design custom window treatments in-store or use our online tool. Even schedule an in-home appointment with a designer. With so many choices, nobody does windows like we do. Come in now for easy-to-use cordless cellular shades starting at only $24.97. From America's #1 retailer of blinds and shades, the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Offer valid through June 30th and store and online while supplies last.
As a 300-foot-tall dino monster, people think all I'm good at is rampaging. But there's more to me than that. Just like Geico. Yeah, they could save you money, but they also have over 75 years of savings and service. So Geico is super good at insurance. And yeah, I like rampaging. But I'm also a huge fan of
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more. You like to fish, but the big fish are on the big lakes, and your old boat isn't trustworthy enough to take out of your front yard. At Wilson Marine, we get it. We have a ton of reliable fishing boats on display that you can touch, sit in, and even take for a test drive. In fact, our fishing boats start at just $129 per month. on a trailer, ready to catch you that big fish. Reel 'em in, buddy. Wilson Marine. Life is short. Boats are cool.
Wilson Marine is your fishing boat headquarters. If you're looking for the largest selection, the best service before and after the sale, and an unbeatable price, you need to get down to Wilson Marine. Because life is short. Fishing boats are cool. Stop into Wilson Marine today to see Michigan's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Wilson Marine in Brighton, Howell, Commerce Township, and our newest location on Jefferson Avenue in Harrison Township. Or 24/7 at wilsonboats.com.
What if you could sell your home for 18% more money? What if you only had a one-day listing contract where if you weren't happy, you could cancel it at any time? What if your realtor would guarantee that your home will sell at a price and deadline that's acceptable to you, or he'll step up and buy it himself? Hi, my name's Mark Z with Keller Williams, and that's all part of the Z Guarantee. Call me, Mark Z, today, or go to soldbymarkz.com and start packing.
Call 844-SOLD-BY-Z. Hi, Kelly Counts, sales manager of Hamilton Chevrolet. Get ready for your summer road trip in a versatile new 2017 Traverse from $149 a month. 24-month leases with $999 down in lease conquest. Whether it's a weekend up north or cross-country vacation, the Traverse will get you there in comfort, and Hamilton will find every discount to save you money. Get approved instantly at HamiltonChevy.com. And remember, the best deals to be found are at 14 Mile and Mount. Chevy. Find new roads.
Hey, it's Dominic Hennig from Inside Sports Medicine with Dr. Jeff Pierce. Join us this Sunday as we talk with former NFL and Michigan wide receiver Braylon Edwards. Inside Sports Medicine, Sundays from 8 to 9 a.m. only on 97.1 The Ticket.
It's the perfect time to buy a new home or refinance your mortgage. Save up to $400 with a Vibe home loan. Apply today at VibeCreditUnion.com, an equal housing lender.
Sports news all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Jersey Mike's. Tiger baseball today just after 4 p.m. right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Tigers going for their third straight win against the Tampa Bay Rays after routing them 13-4 last night. Nicholas Castellanos double, triple, and drove in 4 runs as the Tigers had a big night offensively. Daniel Norris gets the win. Tigers have put DH Victor Martinez in a 10-day DL. He has an irregular heartbeat. He was hospitalized as of last evening. The 38-year-old has the doctors trying to discover the cause. Meanwhile, at the U.S. Open, there is a 4-way tie for the lead heading into today's third round. Paul Casey, Brian Harman, Brooks Koepka, along with Tommy Fleetwood, all check in at 7 under par. Ricky Fowler falls back to 6 under par. Top 3 in the world have missed the cut for the first time since the world ranking system began back in 1986. And Reggie Bullock of the Pistons suspended 5 games under the NBA's anti-drug program. At your ticket update desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1theticket.com.
Talking sports, loud and clear, 24/7, 97.1 The Ticket.
All right, you're just joining us, 9:34. What a gorgeous day outside. Yeah, summer's just around the corner coming up this week, so get out there and get your approval letter at Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. You can also send us an email to mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. That's a cool place to get us. We will get you a real, true approval letter, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But first, let's go to some of these calls at 248-539-9797. I'll go to Rob first in a car. Good morning, Rob. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you.
What's up, man?
Hey, Rob.
How you doing? I was just talking with a buddy of mine a couple of days ago, and he was telling me about his mortgage, and he says he's been paying just the interest on his mortgage instead of like trying to knock down the principal, like I've always was told to do. You know, get your principal down and all that. But
right.
He says he's not going to be able to pay the mortgage off. He's been in the house 15 years, and he'll probably be in it for another 10 or whatever. And he's like, I'm just paying my mortgage at about 5 or the interest off instead of trying to pay it all off. Because I know I can't pay it off.
Okay, Rob,
that's fine.
Rob, so does he have an interest-only loan?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, so if he's got an interest-only loan, let's just use round numbers. If he took a loan out for $200,000 10 years ago, and he's been paying interest-only, you know what his balance is?
Yeah.
$200,000 plus interest.
Yeah.
So he's not knocking anything off. I do not recommend those for your average person. If you're financially astute and you want to pay interest-only plus principal, I get it. But those loans that's We used to call those super fun Happy Meal.
Well, the real
Happy
bummer,
Arms.
and here, the real bummer is all those families. Yeah, they call us up and they're like, "Gosh, I got no equity here," and they get trained and accustomed to just paying the minimum, and that's not always the way to go. Sometimes that extra $200-$300 onto your
Hey,
payment.
Rob, what he's got to do, I know the payment's going to go up. He's got to get out of that. If he's going to be in that house for any length of period of time, he's got to refinance out of that.
Yeah, because he said that he goes, well, I'm paying like $550 or something like that. You know, what would I have to pay if I went out when I was renting?
Well, Rob, here's the thing too. You guys got to pay attention to those interest-only arms. They're not interest-only forever. So there's usually a 10-year period, and then the program reverts to it's still a 30-year loan, but you're 10 years into it, so there's 20 years left. So his payment's going to go from $550 to $1,000 when that comes due.
It's dangerous. Dangerous.
It'd be a little dangerous.
Yeah, I never. When he told me that, I was like, "What?" You know, I thought maybe this was something.
Yeah,
I don't know if he was telling me the truth.
I'll call you for the show and see if we can figure something out for him.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Rob.
All right,
Great
maybe
call,
you'll give us
buddy.
his number. Again, he could just give us a phone call. We can run some numbers by. He might be very comfortable with it. A lot of times we can just roll in the minimum closing costs in a transaction. He might be behind in some taxes. Again, when we have professional people look at your mortgage, we may be able to show you something that will save you money, not only now, but down the road, and of course, build equity. That's the way to go.
Mortgage line number one. Take out an interest-only loan. Then when the property value goes up, we'll refinance you out of it.
What guarantees the property go up?
Where does it say it's guaranteed that your property value is going to go up?
Right.
All right. Have we not learned that lesson?
I don't think we learned any lessons where it's like back again, like it's pre-2007.
You're going to get me going.
I know. Hey,
You're gonna get me started.
248-539-9797. Let's go to Felicia out in Farmington Hills. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good, Felicia. I'm so aggravated right now.
Why?
I get calls about people taking out interest-only loans. I'm very aggravated about that. That's not a loan you want to get. Please don't tell me you're calling about an interest-only loan.
She's calling to pay off her mortgage. Right, Felicia?
Absolutely not.
Good. Thank you. Make my day.
Okay, so my question for you is about paying off your mortgage. You know, I read a lot of things. I listen to a lot of things. Some people say, oh, absolutely, you should pay it off. Other people say, don't pay it off. And I know I was just listening to the caller. I think it was 2 callers before where you sort of told him, well, maybe you shouldn't put that $15,000 on your mortgage. Maybe you should invest it if you can get a better return. So you know, what's your opinion on that? I'm probably, I don't know, 7-8 years from retirement.
Okay.
So
what do you owe on your house?
How much do I owe on
What's
it?
the balance?
Oh, about $160,000.
160. And what's your monthly payment?
I have a 15-year fix.
Oh, first of all, I love that.
That's a great program, yeah.
How long are you going to be on? How long do you think you're going to be in that house? Is this your forever house? You're not moving? You're done?
Yeah, I'm done. For the most part.
Okay.
I like paying it off.
So here's the thing. Now, if it's going to make you, if you have that kind of cash, now remember, cash is king. The current value of your cash is worth more than the future value of that cash. So if you're going to plan on retiring in 7 years, you're going to want cash hanging around. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to determine that X amount of years to retirement, what your monthly payment is, how much cash you have, and then how much cash on a monthly basis you think you're going to need during retirement. So if you do all of those metrics and you figure it out that maybe you don't need to pay off $167,000, maybe you could pay $40,000, $50,000 down and see what happens because you're still in your earning years, you got to take a look at it. But you also have to take a look at, can you make more money? What's the interest rate on that mortgage?
I think it's 3.5.
Okay, so
You're in
that's
great shape.
That's a phenomenal rate right now. So, and 3.5 is great. Can you make more by taking $50,000 or $60,000 or $100,000 and investing it and getting a higher return than 3.5?
Well, probably. I mean, but this stock market's been crazy, right?
Okay,
so,
right, and
at
it's
some point,
and it's risky. So now I'm going to throw those were 4 factors we talked about. The 5th factor is this: when you lay your head down on your pillow at night, are you going to feel good or great about paying off your mortgage? If you feel great about it, it's something you have to consider. If you just feel good about it, maybe you could take that money and have it work somewhere else for you. But I'm a big believer in laying your head down on your pillow and feeling great about something. And we'll be the only group of mortgage guys that'll tell you that if you want to pay off that mortgage and it makes you feel good, go ahead and do it.
Well, I wouldn't feel great about it because I'm going to be thinking about opportunity cost, right? Well,
there you go.
Maybe I could have put it in the stock market.
Felicia,
and made
there's your
6%
answer.
or 7%.
That's your answer right there, buddy.
That is your answer.
Well, and in any investment, not necessarily even the stock market, but Felicia, it's a great call. I think we're going to call you after the show just to give you some financial advisors, maybe an additional person to maybe talk to. We know a lot of great people out there in the Tri-County area that would love to sit with you and prepare you for retirement.
But you've
and
got
your
to
future.
do what's best for you. And then what you're looking for, Felicia, and I can hear it in your voice, you're looking to make the absolute best financial decision. But once you do it, you got to live with it, okay? It's got to make you happy, and it's got to make you the most money in the end. Right?
Sounds good.
You got it. Well, thanks for the call.
Cool. Thanks for calling, Felicia.
All right, we'll follow up with you for sure. Give you a number to talk to.
Now, guys, that's a good
Felicia.
call. That made my day. I'm not aggravated anymore.
See, you're all better now. All righty, that music says we got a little quick break here. Tons to share with you. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
A lot of men are trying to save money by handling their divorces themselves. Saving a few dollars up front could cost you everything in the end. You can't put a price on experience. Call Adam, the American Divorce Association for Men, 248-356-ADAM or adamdivorcelaw.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Daggett from Mercedes-Benz of Novi. No matter where you're from, no matter what kind of car or SUV you have in mind, I promise one trip or one call to Mercedes-Benz of Novi will be worth it. We do things a bit differently here. I personally make sure every single customer gets their very best price, guaranteed. There is never ever any pressure here. We speak 5 different languages. Everyone is always welcome. And we have about 275 new Mercedes-Benz cars and SUVs in stock in colors and trims you won't see elsewhere at Mercedes-Benz-of-Novi.com. Once again, according to DealerRater.com, Mercedes-Benz of Novi is ranked the #1 Mercedes dealer in Metro Detroit for outstanding customer service and ranked #1 for customer satisfaction too. These are real reviews from real customers like you. You know you'll get our very best price. You know we'll take better care of you too. Please stop in or call us right now at Mercedes-Benz of Novi. And please see me when you get here.
So what's better than iPhone 7? iPhone 7 on Sprint.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, you can lease one iPhone 7 or iPhone 7 plus 32 gigabyte and get an iPhone 7 32 gigabyte lease on Sprint. That's 2 iPhone 7s, so everyone can be that happy.
What a great way to share the happiness.
Yes, we should all be this happy. And when you think it couldn't possibly get any better, it does.
How exciting. Tell me more.
iPhone Forever exclusively at Sprint puts the latest iPhone in your hand. After making 12 lease payments, you upgrade anytime to the newest iPhone when it becomes available. So visit a Sprint store, sprint.com/iPhone, or call 1-800-SPRINT1. Sprint works for me.
Get a second iPhone 32 gigabytes for $0 a month after $27.09 a month in service credits that starts within 2 bills. Requires new lines of service or upgrade and 18-month leases. Early termination results in remaining balance due. Subject to well-qualified credit and $30 activation fee. Excludes taxes. Restrictions apply.
Staples knows that when the leave-behinds for your sales call get left behind at your office, it's time. When you need to print 30 pages and you're 300 miles from the office, it's time. And when the intern packed the Harrington file, not the Farrington file.
Oh, my bad.
It's definitely time. And it's times like these when you can count on Staples. Access your files from email, the cloud, or USB, and then print, copy, fax, or scan them, and get back to business fast. Visit your nearby Staples. It's pro time.
At the Home Depot, we've got more great ways to do windows than anyone. Choose from a huge selection, in-store and online. Design custom window treatments in-store or use our online tool. Even schedule an in-home appointment with a designer. With so many choices, nobody does windows like we do. Come in now for easy-to-use cordless cellular shades starting at only $24.97. From America's #1 retailer of blinds and shades, the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Offer valid through June 30th and store and online while supplies last.
This is your first fish.
Father's Day, a day to say thanks to the most important guy in the world. This year, get him what he really wants at Cabela's Father's Day sale. Get 20% off Cabela's reels and fly reels, 25% off Sig Sauer Elite Performance ammunition, and earn $25 in Cabela's bucks when you spend $150 or more in store. Come to Cabela's Father's Day sale. In store and online at Cabela's.com.
The Rays are in town for a 4-game weekend series and the tickets all over Comerica Park. Stop by the broadcasts at Gate A and see the street team for your chance to win Michigan Lottery's $50,000 Gold Rush $2 instant game. Win up to $50,000, win up to 12 times. There's golden fun in everyone. And register to win tickets to see the Tigers, courtesy of Chevrolet, the official sponsor of the Detroit Tigers. For tickets to any Tigers home game, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
At home, in your car, or at work. Detroit's sports station.
97.1 for tickets.
Alrighty, welcome back to the show. Yeah, we got some energy in here. Dan Leach just popped in to give some hugs out, so it's always a good morning when you get hugged by Dan Leach. 9:46 if you're just joining us.
Dude,
That's a nice intro.
I
Harv.
get accused of talking a lot, but Leach talks in his sleep. I mean, this
He's
guy's talking
nonstop.
about everything, man. I love it.
Yeah, there's going to be Pat Caputo coming up with sports and social commentary next. I know Dan Leach is going to be filling in for some of the sports updates here, so keep it on 97.1 The Ticket. Got some Tiger baseball later today. I think
How
it's
about those
an
Tigers
afternoon
last
game
night?
today. I think it's an afternooner.
Went to the game last night. They finally hit. It was awesome. Killing it.
And we have open lines if you want to call and join us. 248-539-9797. Peter Toring from Coldwell Banker doing a great job here, bringing some new insight. Pete, when we got to here this morning, I asked you a question. I said, I set up a few questions for you. And I said, hey, what happened at your last inspection that, might have went better? Maybe something out there that a listener, a buyer, or a seller could use, if you wanted to share any of that with us.
I think the biggest thing going into an inspection is having a realistic expectation. We had an issue with some sellers who, we were a little bit overpriced. I've already come down in price, so I'm not going to do this or this on the inspection. And we had to tell her, your purchase price is based on the market value of the house, based on what you already know, what's in the seller's disclosure, what you saw in your walkthrough. So when you take the inspection, it's the surprise that you didn't know. We can't know about electric or things like that, the things that you wouldn't have known on a seller's disclosure. We have to kind of reevaluate and look at it and have a realistic, expectation of, if you were buying this house, would you want these things to be taken care of? And it's getting
The answer is yes.
Yeah, and it's getting people on kind of on the same team here. We're all in a deal. We all want this deal to close. You want to buy, we want to sell, and let's get together. Let's not be bumping heads and having this adversarial
same team
mindset.
is such a great point. Like, everyone's on the same team.
Right.
It's not like the Red Wings Avalanche 1997.
No.
Like, everyone's got to be on the same team.
Right.
Or else it's never. It's just because it's too hard now.
Everybody's on the same team, but also everybody has a position to play. If you want to use the hockey analogy, if you're a forward, you don't go back in the defenseman's zone. You stay out of their lane. So everybody on the team has to know their role and stay in their lane. So Peter's passed every question, every test that we've given him. Here's the last one. So we talked about earlier in the show, we talked about the appraisal contingency and waiving that, and somebody, knows that they're going to pay $15,000 higher for the house, so they waive the appraisal contingency, right? So now with this, would you ever have a client waive an inspection contingency? So for all you lay people out there, that means you're going to go ahead and you're going to buy a house and you're going to waive your right to an inspection. Would you ever have one of your clients do that?
It would have to be under very, very, very limited circumstances. So this is if a buyer who is, if a buyer's working with me who's already a contractor, they're already somebody that should know all of these things. Even then, I'd be real nervous about it. I think the best thing to do is to come in with, a very shortened inspection time. You're not taking that much of a seller's time. I've got fantastic inspectors. Like I said, I stay in my lane. I do real estate. I let them do their game. But I've got inspectors that I can say, hey, we put in an offer. Are you ready to go and do an inspection? The day after we get accepted.
Let's make sure the general public is clear on this. Unless you know what you're doing, unless you're a contractor, unless you can fix things, unless you can look at foundation issues and say, hey, I'm going to accept them. If you're just a lay person like I am, I'm telling you, don't waive your right to an inspection.
Yeah. There could be major
do
things
it.
wrong with the house, too.
Can we also say this? Just because the house has been flipped or it's been updated, it's got granite countertops, it
Doesn't
looks
mean it's
great.
fixed.
It does not mean that your air conditioner isn't going to go, you don't have foundation issues, your roof isn't bad. These
Furnace.
things can happen.
Major
Exactly.
stuff, man.
Because the flipper's they're going to focus on what's going to get
How much
back.
money
They're
can
going
I
to
make?
focus exactly on those granite countertops and those cabinets. So, yeah, I would almost never recommend that you waive your inspection.
Good answer. You're 3 for 3. You pass. Hey, because lipstick on a pig is still a pig.
Mm-hmm.
You guys get that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You get
I understand
100%.
that, right?
Oh, they know how to dress them up really nice here and
I
make
like
those
bacon.
cosmetic
Thank you.
improvements
I'm a huge
to
bacon fan.
the most out of the house. You definitely want to dress it up. Hey, a couple things out there. If you want to join the show, 248-539-9797. I always like to reiterate some stuff out there that families don't know. Yes, if you had a bankruptcy, if you had foreclosure in the past, a short sale, a deed in lieu of foreclosure, you can now get a mortgage again. Now, it's not the next day, but it is in certain situations. Again, find out by calling Capital Mortgage Funding. If you had any of these things going on in your life, you may be qualified for a mortgage now. Again, just to throw it out there, 4 years after a bankruptcy, you can typically get a conventional mortgage. Again, you do have to reestablish credit and things of that nature. And just 3 years after a bankruptcy, you can get an FHA loan. So again, whether you had a Chapter 13, the rules are different, or a 7, or a Chapter 11 in your business.
Is there a
there's lots of
foreclosure in the
different
bankruptcy?
Is there a house included in that bankruptcy? Right. All of these things dictate a little bit of a different answer, and find out where you stand. That way you can get back into the housing market. That's really cool stuff. Also, Federal Reserve mortgage rates did not follow the Fed directly, but of course the 10-year yield is something you might want to keep an eye on. Yes, rates are at all-time lows. They continue to be. Take advantage of it. Again, home ownership is absolutely unbelievable. The reasons why is because we can still write off. The interest is typically deductible in most situations. So that's really the key to it. If you find yourself renting at $1,200, owning a house at $1,200 might end up with the tax deduction, might be somewhere around $900 at the end of the year, because your CPA and of course your accountant can play some magic
Some
with the
people
numbers.
just want to rent, though. Like, you shouldn't,
That's
don't
good.
pile on. I mean, some people just don't want the responsibility. Go ahead.
Especially if you're not going to stay around too long. Yeah, Pete.
That's true in some situations, but also the other thing is a house that's renting for $1,200 a month, your mortgage payment is probably significantly less than that. The rental rates are insane. So if you're sticking around, it's going to be cheaper month. Even without the tax deduction, it's still cheaper to buy.
Right. Plus the fact that you can build some equity one day and have that sense of community and have your kids in the right school and that whole ownership and the pride. It's a difference when you raise a family when there's ownership.
Right. So, Peter, hot areas right now for you. Hot area. Give me a couple hot areas for you.
We're seeing one of the big areas. Warren is really hot right now. St. Clair Shores is really hot. A lot of the, during the downturn, investors came in, flipped. And so it's bringing quality buyers back to the area.
Right.
I love the Shores right now. I think it's a fantastic area to live. It's a fantastic community. It's I think the nautical mile is a little bit underrated for you West Siders. Come on over. You'd be 2 minutes away from the lake.
Pete. The nautical mile. What is the nautical mile?
The nautical miles is between 9-10 Mile on Jefferson. You've got all sorts of places on the water. You got marinas. You got it. And the great thing is
restaurant. It's its own little world over there. That 1 mile.
Love it.
Yeah, it's James. James is
by Muscatine Bay.
Minute away there. But
we know where to find James. That's where James is going to be.
You must see Diane over there too. Don't worry. We know.
Lives.
Yeah, she lives on the nautical mile.
If between 9 and 10 is hot, Diane lives at 9.5.
Yeah, she's
Trust me when I tell you.
Let's give her a little.
That sounds about right.
That's right. She's at 9.5 in Jefferson for sure.
That is funny, Harry.
One other thing I want to throw out there. We're starting to run out of time. 248-539-9797. If you haven't called in, and again, be sure to call Capital Mortgage. We have people in the office all weekend long. Definitely call Ronnie there. He's there at 248-569-7283. 1-800-LOW-RATE. The best mortgage banker. Why? You've probably got equity in your house, especially if you bought it in the last 5 to 7 years. Maybe you're doing that home improvement. Maybe you put that home improvement off. But now take a look. Find out what that roof, window, basement, bathroom, whatever it is. Find out what a new payment could be if you pull that equity out. Maybe take that $20,000 or $30,000 out. Get a fixed rate mortgage. Lock yourself in, maybe even to a lower term, and see maybe you can do all of those improvements this year. The hard part is getting the workers out there because of so much going on here in the community. It's hard to get the contractors out sometimes.
We had like 3 minutes left, but I forgot to tell the story.
Oh, go ahead.
So I was doing a bunch of work to my house, and the guy's like, I want half. I'm like, half up front. I'm like, for materials, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, here's the scoop, dude. I'll go with you to Home Depot the day before you're going to start. I'll pay for it all there. I'm not writing you a check for X right now, but
and then
never see you again. Never heard from the guy again.
Oh, really?
When I said, I'll go with you, I understand. I don't expect you to front all the money for the materials. I got your back. I understand 100%. I'll go with you to whatever supplier, Home Depot, whatever. Give me a credit card number, and we'll do it together.
How'd you find that guy?
And
never.
Definitely important. Definitely important to find him.
Dude, he came recommended. I mean, it's.
Well, hey, that's why there's shows like Hire It Done.
Never
Stuff. Find a contract.
Never heard from the guy when I wouldn't give a deposit.
Even the recommended guys, it's tough right now.
Yep.
All right.
Hey, Harvey, you touched upon this. Did you say that 45% of renters in metro areas could afford to buy a house?
I didn't say that today, but that might have been from last week's show. Something like that. That the affordability is definitely there.
So the affordability, people say that's down. It says only 45% can afford to buy a house. What do you mean only 45%? That sounds like a pretty good number to me.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, if there
if you were batting 450, would you be okay?
Right, if I'd be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly.
If there are renters out there, and what they're saying is 45% of the people that are renting in metropolitan areas can only buy a house. What do you mean? That's great.
That's great news. Hey, we also want you to urge to call Capital Mortgage Funding, of course. Why? We're going to help you get organized for this transaction. That's really important. Give you some additional knowledge and the confidence, and also set you up with great real estate agents like Peter Toring from Coldwell Banker.
Nautical Mile.
There
Remember
you go.
that term?
Hey, Pete, that's it for us.
Yep.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
All right. It was
You're
great
great,
to
buddy.
have you
Good work.
again. Peter Toring from Coldwell Banker. We're Manuel out on the east side. Also want to thank our boy over here, James Lutz from
you,
Capital
guys.
Mortgage, for filling in, doing a little bit here with us on the show. For Harry Glanz, Alex Nafusi, happy Father's Day out there to
Yeah,
all the
thank you
fathers
very much.
listening,
Happy
including you,
Father's Day,
Harry.
everybody.
All right,
Thank you.
We've got it coming up next. Pat Caputo with sports, social commentary. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket.
The preceding was a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
97.1 The Ticket.
Hi, Harry Glanz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, and they're not going down to zero. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. If you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE. Capital Mortgage Funding is powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS ID number 2289, Equal Housing Lender.
Did you know last year we had nearly 25,000 homes for sale in Southeast Michigan, and today we have less than 15? Hi, I'm Realtor Jeff Glover.